Hey there, y'all. This is Hades, and today we're just going to One Piece, chapter 1146, Motion in Stillness. Not bad chapter, I gotta admit. Not bad chapter. Gunko proves very, very effective. And if she is a revolutionary in disguise, she's playing it pretty dang well. I'm just gonna say that. Alright, so yeah, let's, well, first, cover page, right? Cover page. Turns out, Ulti and Paige, they were saved, and Ulti is so grateful that she wants to join Yamato. And Yamato, I'm sure she's gonna be like, sure. I could be wrong, but we'll see. All right. So yes, we cut to the first page here with everyone wondering like who's the intruder, and is this the intruder that's been kind of wreaking havoc around everywhere? And they oh my, as they're saying one of the human intruders who the castle guards couldn't handle. You're the one who's been kidnapping the children, then says Nami. And then Guko tugs on her hat and says, "You dare call me a human?" All right. So yeah, she's gonna be one again. Either she's playing it pretty well, or this is one of those characters that's just insane, and you just gotta roll with it. And she says, "We are gods," and Usopp's like, "Gods? That sounds like your Eneru or the Celestial Dragons." Which, yeah. Oh, and also, no, I'm not affiliated with the Celestial Dragons, just the Marines. All right, I'm Marines from One Piece. And yeah, so things are not gonna go well as they figure out that she's the one that creates the arrows, and we cut to Frankie, Ripley, Bonnie, and Lilith escaping. And at first, I was like, "Did I miss a page here? Like, what in the world happened?" But no, it turns out that they're escaping from one of the nightmare creatures, and Frankie took care of it, which is neat to see. But yeah, essentially, yeah, the whole chaos essentially just spread throughout the whole tree. Even Frankie and them that are just way out are getting attacked by these creatures, and essentially that yeah, Gunko and the rest of the Sassunuts are here to take all the children. They wanted to they would have preferred if they could easily just grab them, take them, but they're giant kids. They can't really do that, so they're gonna use their powers to just have them walk all the way to the ship, and they don't care if the kids die getting there because whatever. And so yeah, the Straw Hats, the ones that are here, which is Jinbei, Brook, Usopp, and Nami, and I guess Korin. He's not a Straw Hat, but he's there. And she uses her ability. Gunko uses her arrow ability to point right at Usopp. And at first, when I was reading this, I was thinking, is it getting closer? But no, it's just pointing at Usopp, and it's just freaking Usopp out. Like, there's this arrow pointing at me, guys. I don't know what to do. And Nami tries to do something. She calls Zeus out to go fight for her. She uses Thunder Shark Tempo, shoots it right at Gunko, and Gunko twists it around using her power and shoots it right back at Nami. And Nami tries to outrun it. She can't. But there, she, well, I guess Brooke technically showed a way that there is a way to avoid this because it's supposed to be undodgeable, right? No, because Brooke gets in the way and gets hit by Thunder Shark, and he's the one that affected it, not Nami. All right, so okay there. So Brooke is onto something here. He figured a way out that this thing's not is not gonna always hit you, right? It's not gonna always hit you. There's a way to counter it. Throwing yourself in front of it if it's gonna hit someone else, right? So I mean, it's something. And of course, this lightning thing, no, it ain't gonna do much to Brooke. Anyway, he's already dead. Yo ho, yo ho. And essentially, yeah, things are just not going well for the Straw Hats as of now. And Usopp fires some blasts at him. I don't remember the name of it. My apologies. And okay, I gotta say this. There's two things that's happening. One I think is the answer, but the answer I'm coming down with makes more sense. One is just to show that what Oda's trying to do is show the regeneration of these beings that this of the God's Knights, that it's freaking great. To me, when I read that, I was like, oh, the God Knights have terrible durability. Like even an attack that would like not even kill like literally like almost any like a normal marine would blow a freaking celestial dragon to bits. I'm just saying, like her upper body is just completely annihilated, and Usopp even's like, "Oh freak!" and they're like, they're like, "Man, you kind of overdid it there, Usopp." And he was like, "Oh shoot, I'm sorry. Like I didn't mean to blow you to bits." But no, Gunko's of course regenerating back, and they say, yeah, that's pretty dang creepy. As Gunko goes on the assault, as she says that her attacks are unstoppable. Not well, they don't always hit their targets. And she gets on the attack that's going right towards Usopp, and as that's happening, we get narration from Gunko saying the countdown has begun. A vast war will ensue, and drag the entire world into it. And which side the giants pledge their allegiance to will have a profound effect on the outcome of the war. So essentially, Gunko's like saying, "Yeah, we're here to try to get the giants to force to join us, but clearly that's not going to happen because Luffy and them always win, like literally 99% of the time. So yeah, so the giants are going to join Luffy's side, and that's how they're going to be able to floor through the Marines and the yeah. Even though giants in One Piece are kind of jokes, they kind of are because you usually get one shotted, especially creatures are like much bigger than giants. The only exception was like really the oars. Like, really, that's really the only exceptions. Like the giants are not that big of a deal in One Piece. They're really not. I don't know how they're like they're not. And yes, then we see other giants fighting the dream monsters, defeating them, and then we get Loki and Luffy just fat because they've eaten so much, of course. And then one of the arrows grabs Koron and just takes him away. And Jinbe and Brook try to attack Gunko, but Gunko's arrows make their attacks hit each other. Good on her. That's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Though I'm not sure how much Fishman Karate would work on Brook. I guess it would, right? Because it's hitting the bones like completely, like, shaking them up. But he could just drink milk, right? Then he'll just be back to normal. And then the arrow does come up to Nami. Gunko does land a hit on Nami. Yeah. And then the other arrow that that's always been facing Usopp, she rides it and just knees Usopp, and Usopp, yeah. And it looks like that she completely defeated like these Straw Hats here. Clearly, not all of them are down and out. I think only Usopp's like only the one temporary down. And as that's happening, we cut to the school as Killingman is actually defeated Kiba, and yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, I'm glad to see that that the God Knights are spreading out, doing something very intelligent. Trying to use the transponder smells and everything. And again, giants are really not that big of a deal, as we see here. I get it, God's Knight, but come on. Has there really been any giants you've seen that have been very, 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 like, nearly unstoppable to beat? Come on. They're like glass cannons in this show. They're kind of like glass cannons. And then we get Killing Man trying to contact Summers, and Summers like, yeah, I'm kind of give me a minute here. I'm kind of almost done. I'm fighting this guy that should have died at Ohara, but again, Oda decided not to because the plot armor is just so freaking thick and the power of friendship. I'm not wrong. As Saul is also talking to Chopper and Robin in his beard, saying, yeah, don't come out. Just, whatever happens, just try to protect the kids. Just don't come out. Which is, I didn't like that at all whatsoever. Because to me, I don't believe one at all, or Chopper would just let Saul just completely get annihilated by this guy. I do believe that they would actually try to help him fight. I mean, why wouldn't they? I get, that I get the whole. I believe what Oda's trying to go for, that Robin's kind of like afraid because the whole same thing's happening again with Saul, and the whole thing with the Ohara and stuff like that. But it's like Robin grew up as in, like, as a character. Not, I mean, she did grow up physically, but as an actual character, she grew up as a character. She's stronger, much more emotionally stable, thanks to Luffy and his group. Especially when at Eni's lobby, Luffy says, "Yeah, say you want to live," and she says, "I want to live." Great scene. I'm not gonna lie, that's a freaking great scene. But the fact that they're holding off, I'm assuming there's a plan here. There has to be a plan. Probably not. With Oda, I have no clue. But yeah, it's weird to me that Robin and Chopper are not doing nothing. It's crazy to me. And also the fact that that uh Summers goes on a freaking spiel about, like, yeah, the you're going to, oh, excuse me, sorry, schools, libraries. What kind of peace loving nonsense is this? You people are warriors. Again, the giants are become much more peaceful. They're not as violent as they used to be. And Summers is kind of irritated by that, especially with their history. As he said, you're going to use the vicious, violent power that once terrified the world and serve it to us as mercenaries. Isn't that right, King Harold? and then stupid Harold had to go and screw it up. Okay, so Summers is mad. She's dropping off some lore here, which is like, okay. I mean, yeah, it's a thing with One Piece. He's dropping lore here, and so I'm now wondering, okay, so Harold did something, which I think does back my theory that Loki had to kill King Harold for the good of the country, and even though he looks like a villain doing it, it was still for the good of the country. I don't think Loki's gonna be like the super evil guy, you know, like come on, this is Oda we're talking about. And so yeah, I think the God's Knights were probably gonna manipulate King Harold to an extent, and then Loki's figured out what was happening. The only way to stop him was to kill him, and that's what happened. That's what I believe happened, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But yeah, overall, everything about this chapter, I liked it. The only part I didn't like is just Robin and Chopper. Again, I do believe Chopper would follow Robin's lead, so okay, I do believe he would go help, and also Robin not helping. To me, that regresses her character. Like that really does for me. So I didn't like that whatsoever. So I'm gonna give this chapter a 6 out of 10. Unless there's a reason for it, like in the next chapter, Summers leaves, and then Robin and Chopper go off to go save the kids. And they're like, oh, okay, so they're waiting for Summers to leave so they could go save the kids. So, they don't have to worry about Summers, trying to fight them while their kids are leaving. Okay, I get it. But as of now, as we have it in this chapter, no, not good. But anyway, that's my review. And yeah, I'm just waiting to see how in the world the Straw Hats are going to beat them. I hope it's not as simple as Luffy going Gear 5 again and just whooping them all. I would like to see Loki do some stuff, be able to fight them. But we'll see, right? Anyway, that concludes my review. If you listen this far, I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day and take care.